Me? You in? Good to be here with you. This is Dr. J, the real Floss Boss, with another episode of You Can't Handle the Tooth. I'm glad you're here with us on Facebook Facebook Live, because I am running behind today. I was going to do it at 3 o'clock, but I had to get some things together. I wanted to show you about a couple of pieces of equipment that we have that are super awesome and very different than the way most dentists do it. So if you ever have to get an impression, like an alginate impression for a retainer or a night guard or bleach trays or something, that usually they'll mix it right in the room with the powder and the water in, and they'll mix it up. Hopefully they get it mixed really well, and then they get the impression. But we've got a couple of pieces of equipment. The first one I'm going to show you has to do with mixing up alginate. So if you can, I don't know if you're able to see this. I want you to be able to see us mix this up real quick. The powder's in there already, and the water. I'm going to seal it up in the little container. Place that in the little mixer and start. Plug your ears. Just kidding, it's not that loud. 6 seconds. And you can see.
Voila.
Ready to go. Okay. Are you going to stay in here?
No, I'm waiting.
Okay. All right. Next couple of things we're going to show you is this other piece of equipment called the Drufomat scan. All right, this thing is super cool. It comes in silver and red, and since I like Ferraris, I got red. But we're going to talk about some of these appliances that dentists always want to make for your mouths, right? I mean, there's so many of them, and we're going to talk about them in a minute. But first, I'm going to show you how this machine works. So what I'm going to make for you live is a sports guard. It's something that, you know, you might see football players and basketball players put in their mouths. I personally think soccer players should wear them at all times, and anyone really that can be in contact with an elbow or balls in the face or whatever, but to protect their teeth, a sports guard, okay? Most commonly you see basketball players have them and football players have them all the time. So we're going to pick a cool color. My kids go to Blythewood High School, so we've got this purplish, bluish. You can pick any color you want. It's kind of thick, it's rubbery, and we're going to make it on this model right here. So, we place this material here in this little frame so it's ready to heat up. We're going to make it on this model right here. I don't know if you want to see, can you see, get in here? So we place the model right in here. We pick the size we're going to do, and we're going to scan. Let's see what this other one does. Yeah. We're scanning this one right here for this night guard. Put this together. And this back here in the back is the heating device. I don't know if you can see me move this in. It's tough, I know. So now that that's in, and then we hit OK, and it starts to count down. So what it's doing now is it's heating up that material, and then this piston is going to go down and form around this model that we have. The model is made because of what you just saw Megan mixing up, some alginate. She'll get the impression, and we'll also mix the stone in here, and the stone gets a nice creamy mix, and we're able to make the little models. So I thought while this thing is heating up, this process is going to take about 6 minutes. So there's a heating process, then the piston pushes the heated material down over the model, and then there's a cooling process, and then I'll show you exactly what it makes. So let's talk about each of these things that dentists want to make, okay? And we could have a separate Facebook Live for each of these things. So first, the sports guards, we already talked about that. That's one of the things that dentists will make for you. And those will help protect, if things hit your teeth, it'll protect them. If you get hit in the jaw that causes your mouth to close, it will protect the teeth-on-teeth contact, which can also shatter stuff. So very, very safe. And just because you're not in like an organized sport like high school football or basketball or college, that does not mean you should not use a sports guard. If you play church ball, that might even be worse. Okay, if you You know, if you're out playing pickup soccer or anything like that, flag football. I mean, any of those things where you're getting really close to people that are running. You should have a sports guard, and people might see you and go, oh, he's got a sports guard, but they're really going to be like, man, I should be getting a sports guard. So you need those to protect your teeth. Here's something else. This looks just like a bleach tray, and we can talk about bleach trays. Bleach trays are just like this. They're clear, they're thin, they're very flimsy, and those are what's used as a reservoir for the individual. Well, here we go. Time's up. So this thing's ready to go down. We push the button. It beeps again. So now it's cooling. About 4 minutes to cool. Did you see that? You got to see the piston go down and stuff? Okay. So with bleach trays, you'll put a little drop of the bleach inside of the tray. You'll place it in your mouth. You'll wipe off the excess. That's a bleach tray. These little retainers are really good too. They can be used as bleach trays, but they're also quite rigid, which means they keep your teeth from shifting, either back into a position where they were before braces or even worse. In fact, the statistics show that 2/3 of people that go through orthodontics, whether it's Invisalign or brackets, will go back into where they were, the position they were in, or worse, if they don't use a retainer. So I remember like when my sister got her braces off, she was told, hey, your retainers for 6 months. That's just not the case anymore. You know, it's retainers for life. I say that the corny thing that I say is you want to wear a retainer for as long as you want to keep your teeth straight. All right? So wear a retainer, keep your teeth straight, retainer breaks. Don't think, oh, it was years ago, I won't need it anymore. You will. As we age, the teeth kind of push forward and they crowd up. They do it on everyone. They've done it on me, and they'll do it on you too. 2/3 go back to where they were or worse. So wear your retainer. Rigid. And if you wanted to, you could bleach at the same time you wear them. Okay? That's a clear retainer. They make different kinds of retainers. This is the kind that the dentist can make in the office with something like this or something different. All right. Here's one of the sports guards. I'll show you that when this gets done. A night guard. I think we've talked about night guards before, and I've got a lot of questions on night guards, but they're made different ways. These are thick, unlike this tray, which is super thin. These things are thick. This tray here is probably 1 millimeter thick, the retainer, and this is probably 4 to 5 millimeters thick. Okay, and the outside is very hard. So when you grind on the other teeth, you will you won't wear up against the opposing dentition. It's kind. Okay. The inside, however, they used to make them where they were what's called hard, and they were very rigid on the inside as well, and when you put them in, you had to be real careful because you felt like you were going to break something putting them in. But now they're coated with this liner on the inside that's actually very soft and kind, so it's called hard, soft night guard. And so the soft side goes in very, very snug, very comfortable, and the underside or the opposing side is very hard and rigid, and it protects your teeth. Now I get the question a lot, if you use a night guard, what do you do about your retainers? And the answer is you don't need to wear your retainer. If you are using an upper night guard and you have a retainer that you've been using, keep the retainer because the night guard, they break. But when you wear your night guard, if it's made properly, it will also act as a retainer, so you don't need to wear them both. Okay? How we doing? Less than a minute on this, and we'll show you what we've got. Alginate maker, 45 seconds. So the different kinds of retainers that people get are the kind that you see teenagers with that have like the metal bar, the little thing that the kids leave on their lunch tray when they throw it away and parents get mad because they got to make another one. So those are called Hawley, Hawley, a Hawley retainer versus a clear Invisalign type retainer. And then they have fixed retainers where you get a metal bar on the inside bonded on each tooth. That's also something that you could do. But these clear ones they're easy to make, they're quick to make, and they're relatively inexpensive. They all work very, very well. The Hawleys, however, will last like 10 years. The ones that the teenagers get with the colored acrylic. These will last about a year or two depending on how much you chew on them. You could chew a hole in them. All right, this thing is done, so let's release this. Can you see this down here? Very good, very good. So I don't know if you want to, can you see this okay? So we'll take this off. It's already cooled down. Take it out of there. And I'll put it under this light here so you can see a little bit better. But this is a sports guard, okay? There's the model. And here is the sports guard. This one's made blue. They make these actually in red, white, and blue, so you can make different colors, or you can customize, you know, for holidays or for the colors of your school or team. And then we use a couple of devices like this heating iron and other drills and polishers to cut this off of there and shape it up. Here's one that was used a clear material. So how this is purple, it was just clear, and it's the same stuff, just as thick. It's a little more flimsy and chewy, but you can see that it is custom made for the individual. Okay, so we make these sometimes for people. We made them for school teams and stuff like that. All right. That is it. I wanted to show you some of the equipment back here and how it's used, what goes on behind, you know, the scenes in a dental office whenever you get impressions for a night guard. You're wondering, like, well, what are they doing? Sometimes they'll send them off to a lab, and the dentist will pay a lab to make this stuff for the patients, and sometimes people will have it in their office and in the ability to make this stuff in a matter of days rather than, 2 or 3 weeks. So that's it. It was on the fabrication, the new equipment that we have, and the sports guards. I wanted to show you how you make one of those. You do the same thing with the night guards. There's a material that we have that's also hard on one side, soft on the other side, and you can make these hard, soft night guards here in the office and in other offices as well. So it doesn't take 2 or 3 weeks to make. You can make them in, in a couple of days. All right? That's it. This is Dr. J, the Floss Boss. I'm going to bring to you another episode of You Can't Handle the Tooth. We will see you next week. Keep flossing.